It's really not often I get to say this, but I guess sometimes you just have to beat your mother down and put a slave collar on her to sort things out. Well, welcome back to another video. In this one, well, we are looking over episode 5 of Am I Actually the Strongest? And goddamn, I mean, this was a interesting start, I have to say. This episode was not really what I was hoping for, but at least we got some interesting mother-son relationship developments, I suppose. At the end of the last episode, I did expect that in this one we would sort of end the episode with the whole confrontation with the queen, but I guess we just took care of that in the first 5 minutes, and the rest is just like a slice of life part of the show again. Which, yes, definitely subverted my expectations. Overall, I really personally would have preferred if they would have set this episode to be all about the interaction with the queen, and having Haruto actually spend some time, like showing him breaking through these barriers, showing him going through the castle, whatever, to confront the queen, and having it be like a slower build-up, instead of just him randomly showing up in his Dark Knight costume and just beating her in like a minute flat. It felt fairly anticlimactic to me, and it didn't really draw me in either. In the fight scene, yes, like, even though, of course, we know that he is OP as hell and he can't lose, I still would have liked to see a bit more, let's say, severity in the fight. Like, having it feel more serious, having it feel more like something was actually on the line. But to me, it just felt quite flat. The animations were fine, but I would have hoped for a bit better in terms of this being sort of a boss-esque fight, right? So yeah, I couldn't really get drawn into it at all, but, you know, they do the fight scene, and after that, he basically slaps a slave collar on her, which is interesting. I mean, I guess it fits her very loose attire, so to speak. At the time, when he put the slave collar on and told her that, you know, you're gonna wear this until I see fit to take it off again, I was thinking that, okay, is this collar just going to be visible? So, like, anyone can just see her having this collar around her neck wherever she goes? And apparently, they confirmed later in the episode that, yup, apparently the last 5 years, as we do get a 5-year time skip later, she has been having this collar around her neck and she hasn't been seen in public for years. And at first people thought it was a edgy fashion statement, but eventually they thought that, hey, maybe she just put on one and couldn't get it off, or someone put it on her. So, yeah, that must have been quite humiliating for her. But indeed, it is quite rare you get to see, in anime even, that a son sort of comes of age, so to speak, and puts a slave collar on his mom. That is a new one for me. So after the whole fight, and where Haruto says that, okay, if you do anything, try to take the collar, your head goes off, you know, don't mess with me or my family, or, you know, the Margaret's family, whatever, and then we get the 5-year time skip. I mean, the 5-year time skip is like, okay, sure, I guess that's reasonable. I assume that nothing important happened in those 5 years. Now Haruto is 15, apparently, or going to be 15, and I guess Charlotte is like, what, 12, 13? Not quite sure how much younger she is. They don't look that much older, though. I guess Haruto is a decent bit taller, but he doesn't look that much more adult, like, in terms of his design. I would have liked to see them maybe age him up a bit, in terms of his look as well. What continues to be the best part of this show, though, is just Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte, and seeing her be her absolutely adorable sister self, and just being absolutely perfection incarnate, is nice, you know? Like, that is always enjoyable, and that whole brother-sister relationship is very cute to see. So if we just get the rest of the season focused around that, I mean, yeah, I might be disappointed with the potential where this could have gone, but I will still be satisfied with that element at the very least. What we do get to see, though, is that, okay, after this 5-year time skip, we see that Haruto is finally saying to himself, okay, things have been calm, nothing has happened, I can now finally be a shut-in gamer neat, yoo-hoo. But then, of course, something comes to put a wrench in that with his father saying, no, you have to go to school in the capital. At which point I thought, oh god, here comes the mandatory school arc for the Isekai. But maybe not, actually. Because Haruto thinks of a way to not go to school. Because he can't just decline, because the king sort of personally recommended him. So if he wants his clone to go to the school and be kicked out for having no abilities. Which is an interesting strategy. And I will find it very humorous if they sort of skip the whole school arc in this Isekai and just don't even show the copy going to the school and being kicked out and just tell us about it after the fact. That would be very new and refreshing. Though at this point, I wouldn't mind him going to the school and doing his mandatory Isekai school arc, because I would have liked to see a bit more development and other characters in this show, to be honest. It is also mentioned that maybe he was recommended for this school in the capital by the princess, which the king dotes on a lot. And then the question is, why would maybe the princess want him to go? Like, maybe it's because she saw his abilities when she visited all those years back, or maybe the queen is whispering in her ear and manipulating her to do something or other. I suppose only time will tell. And if he is to go to the school, then the prince will also skip some grades to join Haruto, and the king wants them to be friends, I suppose. I assume the prince is his age, but the prince is, or close to his age, but the prince is slightly younger, because Haruto is the oldest sibling, correct? I think so. I do continue to somewhat enjoy the humor in this show. It's the small parts, but the small parts are funny every now and again. For example, when Haruto makes this comment to the copy that, hey, you just have to go to school and be kicked out. Maybe you'll be, beat up by some bullies, but it's fine. Even if you die, I have plenty more replacements, so don't you worry. And the copy just freaking out like, what? How many has there been? Which copy number am I? And just sort of the humor around that, I think, is still entertaining, and I can still, have some small smirks around that fact. At the end of the episode, we see that Haruto built himself this whole cabin for being a shut-in, basically, and he is playing on a 3DS or Nintendo Switch-esque handheld. I guess he just invented that at some point. I haven't seen him using that before, so I guess he just invented the game console. Maybe he even used this weird, bullshitty barrier magic to connect to, like, the Nintendo subscription back home. Who knows? But yeah, as this show keeps on going, I keep being more and more disappointed with the direction they're going in. Last episode, I thought that, okay, maybe things are actually starting to happen here. We see a lot of political intrigue and geopolitics and all these different elements that, to me, are super interesting and that, to me, are really intriguing. But in this episode, they sort of just use that geopolitics and the entire aspect that I find interesting, plot developments and how things are going in the kingdom and such, and they just take care of that and solve that in the first, 5 minutes, and then we're done, basically, right? And they go back to the slice of life part of the anime. And that seems like it's going to be how the show, or season 1 at least, is going to continue being. That, yeah, they might have some plot here and there, but it doesn't seem like they want to focus on that, or they want to actually make an interesting or intriguing story. They just want to sort of make a slice of life. Hey, look at Haruto and Charlotte being cute brother and sister, and him trying his darndest to be a shut-in neat, and doing all these things over and over again, and having some interactions with new creatures or people here and there, but not really having anything of substance happen. And again, him battling the queen and having this interaction, to me at least, is fairly important and something that should be built up to, and that can be a pivotal moment at the end of an episode or a cliffhanger even. But they just deal with it so haphazardly and casually, it's really hard to get drawn in to it at all. But yeah, if they continue with that, and this goes even more in a slice of life area or direction, and they kind of just go back from the geopolitics and world building and plot that they started building in the last episode, then yeah, I will be disappointed, but as long as Charlotte is in the show and Flay is in the show, at least I can look forward to something. I also have some questions about the 5-year time skip, but I suppose it's understandable, and at least I did it in a very sort of fluid, simple manner. It's like, yeah, 5 years gone, nothing of importance happened, which I guess is fair enough, and then we'll see where we go from here. It would be cool, though, to see more time skip moving further in the season, to actually see him as an adult, and see maybe Charlotte as an adult. That would be interesting to see, because we very rarely get to see Isekai protagonists, or the ones close to them, actually be adults. That being said, though, what did you think of this episode? Do you like it? Hate it? What are your thoughts? Feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. Also, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of future content. I do apologize for the incoherentness in my video today. I am quite sick currently, which is taking a toll, and I have a vacation coming up, so content will be a bit spotty, but do stay and watch out for new content whenever it does arrive, and my schedule will be back up to snuff by the end of the month at the very, very latest. Anyway though, have a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.